You're about to watch 10 animals that can live after death. Before jumping into the video, don't forget to click the bell button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing and exciting videos. Today we'll be taking a look at these lucky animals that can survive even after death. Let's get started. 10. Backward aging jellyfish. At the top of our list of eternal species is a small variety of jellyfish recognized as Turritopsis dumi, or more generally, immortal jellyfish. According to National Geographic, it has figured out a way to cheat death by actually reversing the aging function. If the jellyfish is wounded and a part of it is chopped off, it returns over a 3-day cycle to its polyp level, converting its cells into a younger state that will gradually develop once again in adulthood. 9. Chickens. Normally, the head of an animal comprises its brain. The brain regulates nearly everything that the animal does, but not everything. Some activities are carried out in the nervous system. The nervous system is important to the movement of the body, because without it, animals won't be able to survive. Therefore, the chicken will go around if the head of a chicken is removed, but the spinal cord and nervous system are left intact. But it'll soon stop moving without a brain and never again move. Fun fact, in 1945, a woman cut Mike the chicken's head off, but left enough neck that part of its brain was not cut off, allowing it to live for a year and a half without a head. 8. Cockroaches. It's synonymous with survival. In fact, the cockroaches have been roaming the planet long before the existence of dinosaurs. This species has more than 4,500 different types, with one being more disgusting than the other. So much is our hate for this creature that it's a bazillion-dollar-a-year industry to exterminate cockroaches. But despite our best efforts, they are persevering. Cockroaches are rapidly breeding. In her lifetime, a female will bear upwards of 300 to 400 offspring, and in 3 to 4 months, the offspring matures. Kinda puts to shame the octomom, doesn't she? Their brains often run through their body as a distributed network, meaning a beheaded cockroach will live for a week until it starves to death. 7. Snakes. The natural response of most individuals would fall into one of 3 categories if faced with a poisonous snake: fleeing, freezing, and, oh gosh, chop the head off. And if you're like us, your safest and only option is to cut off a poisonous snake's head. If that doesn't succeed, succumbing politely and doing whatever the hell the severed head wants us to do is our only follow-up attempt. The face of a snake has heat-sensitive pits on either side that can be used to detect threats. So if you are even close to the animal, your body heat will be detected immediately, and that means it will be considered a threat. But wait, what the hell are you even doing near a venomous snake in the first place? Even hours after death, these heat-sensitive pits are able to detect a threatening presence, which means that the snake can continue to protect itself in zombie style. And indeed, it applies even though the body is no longer attached. Anyone who is foolish enough to poke and taunt them to measure his death rate will easily find himself in huge trouble when the motion sensors of the snake start their deadly action. But don't worry, not all of this is gloom and doom, for the venom of a snake reduces its toxicity upon its death. But that's a complete lie, which indicates that being bitten by a dead snake will make you as dead as being attacked by a living one, but adding the extreme embarrassment to the unbearable pain, because who even pokes and loses a fight with a dead snake? 6. Female fruit flies. After being decapitated, female fruit flies will live on for many days. Such decapitated females adopt an upright posture equivalent to that of a natural flight, and can often engage in complex acts such as flying, preening, and under extreme stress, walking. Firstly, it is not as difficult to live without a head as you might imagine. If you have anything like a separate brain in your chest that helps you to walk, travel, and other things like blood circulation and respiration every day. Wait a minute. How will they respond to light when the last time we checked, their eyes are on their heads? You remember they don't have the heads anymore. Easy. They have a kind of substitute eye set, which are the light-sensitive cells that can be found in their little pair of kidneys. 5. Octopus. Say you have a really burning desire to know what it feels like to chew on the face of Kalalu. Oh, we don't judge here. Here's what you're doing anyway. You're going to Korea and ordering a good piling plate of sanaki. If you ever wanted to try food that would fight as it moves down your throat, this is for you, because this dish is made of tentacles and they still stay alive even after the octopus is dead. the tentacles' movements are themselves regulated by the tentacles, meaning that the brain does not need to be linked to make these movements happen. And over half of the neurons are found in their tentacles in the central nervous system of an octopus. In fact, James Wood, a prominent octopus analyst, says that the tentacles are capable of processing information on their own, with none of that information ever entering the cell of the brain. The tentacles don't even care if there is no brain telling them what to do next. They will just make the choice on their own, and that is not trying to be eaten. Or maybe they will kill you deliberately after being eaten, as it happens every year that 6 or so eaters die due to some lesser chewed part that they had swallowed because it was too young to be digested. So anyone want some sushi now? 4. Frogs. A frog with a head but no brain will act exactly in the same way as a frog who has its gray matter intact. The first aspect that causes zombie-like tendencies of the frogs is the strength of a reflex reaction that activates the required electrical impulses that allow the muscles to expand and contract. But it is vital to know that such an automatic withdrawal will not occur if there is no brain in a human. Obviously, we can't live without gray matter. Thus, the second element comes into play. A frog's anatomy is relatively simplistic. It has been noted that if energy can be artificially supplied, the frog would continue to respond to external stimuli for an infinite time. The loss of a brain results in a lack of spontaneity only. What is perhaps more fascinating, however, is that experiments have shown that a frog without a brain would respond more reliably than one with a brain, which means that they can actually be suppressed by the brain, although it does not regulate these impulses. 3. Turtles. It is a known fact that the human heart will keep working for a few minutes after being removed from the body. Same is the case for some birds and reptiles. Their hearts keep pumping for a while after being removed. Now, the term "for a while" reaches a whole new dimension for turtles, as from the point of view of the heart, it's just a regular day in the office to be cut off from oxygen and nutrients normally provided by the blood. Because turtles are known to have a huge lifespan of more than 100 years. For how long? In the case of the loggerhead musk turtle, try 5,000 hours. Yeah, you heard that right. And they live that long because of the oxygen they can draw from the water through their throat, skin, and butt end, as well as the tremendous capacity of their bodies to generate oxygen-free energy. Their hearts have a cache of fuel of their own, and they just won't be giving up until they've used up the last boost of it. 2. Flatworms. Are you knowledgeable of the old wise story about the reproduction of earthworms? If one cuts an earthworm in half, it is said to replicate into 2 earthworms. It may not be accurate, but if you contrast that concept to a flatworm, the outcome might be very disturbing. Flatworms are experts at regeneration, and after amputation, they can regenerate any part of their bodies. If it's split in half, the head part develops a tail, and the tail part develops a head. Cut it down to 20 points and 20 new worms will be produced as a complete replica of the original. University scientists have accomplished this by producing a colony of over 20,000 worms. And guess what? They all turn out to be original and not showing as old in body or organ. 1. Salamander. If you have a list of animals that continue living stubbornly, you'll find it difficult to not include the salamander. This species was often associated with long lives and immortality. Even folks who believe in magic have been able to verify it, and they believe its ability to regenerate the lost body parts is considered to be quite paranormal. Salamanders are able to replenish every portion of their body that is cut from, which in reality works the same or, in some cases, much better than the original parts. This is primarily due to the specific protein found in salamanders, which promotes the replication of cells that can also be found in humans but in smaller amounts, and which helps us to recover from our cuts. Does this also mean that many limbs can also be regenerated in humans? Yeah, the scientists haven't reached that yet, but they are researching salamanders constantly and how their special ability can support humans in the future. You've just watched 10 animals that can live after death. Which of these animals fascinated you the most? Tell us in the comments. We hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.